Hello, everyone. Today we're going to pick right back up where we left last week. I'm going to try to finish up Eddie Munster, and I've got all my things laid out here. I decided to go with this fur for the hair, and then I stuck with that same purple fabric. That's the only little piece I could find. And then I've got this little girl here. She's actually going to become Lily Munster later, but she's got this little collar on, and I'm actually going to take that little collar off and use it for Eddie. So that's why she's out today. So I'm going to go ahead and start with painting the face. Alrighty, so for the face color, I've got this color here. It's sort of a greenish, bluish color. It's called Dutch Aqua. I've had this paint for I swear, like 10 years probably, but it's still good. It's a teensy bit dried up. It's kind of thick, but it still works. And I just feel like that is the perfect color for his face. Now, I'm not going to paint his hands and legs. Some colorized photos, uh, just their faces are painted or colored, so I'm not going to worry about the hands and the legs. And then I wasn't even sure what color he was supposed to be. I've seen colorized pictures and even real pictures where he doesn't have a bluish green skin tone. So I do want to go with that blue, sort of bluish green color, and this is sort of the perfect color for that because you look at it and it's like, is it blue? Is it green? Kind of looks greener on the screen, but in real life it looks kind of blue. But it's just one of those weird colors that's going to work really good for this. But again, I'm probably going to go off camera to do most of it. I've got my red for his little cheeks, and I had to look up Butch Patrick's eye color. Butch Patrick, of course, is the guy that plays Eddie Munster. I thought he had brown eyes, but he has blue eyes. So I'm glad I looked at that before starting this. Which this doll has blue eyes already, but of course I'm going to paint them a lot bigger because he's got big eyes. So I'm going to go off camera and paint his little face, and then we'll come back and work on his hair. Alright, so there's what that color looks like, and I am absolutely obsessed with that color. I think that color is so perfect. I may use that later again on the rest of the characters, but I'm not sure if they're all the same exact color, so, but I totally love it on Eddie. Now, I've been rinsing my brush off in this little bottle of water, and the other day I had just was so forgetful that I had done that, and I picked this up and took a big swig of that, and it was the most disgusting thing ever. I need to stop putting my water in a bottle like this, but I think I had done that before. But I actually spit it out. I realized what was going on, and I thought, oh my gosh, so I spit it out before I actually drank it. But anyway, don't put your paint water in a bottle. And this is how Eddie's looking. So now I'm going to go paint the little details on. All right, so this is where I'm at, and at first I had the hairline way too high. I had it way up here like you see it, and I thought it looked good until I just looked at it better, and then looking back there, he don't have that big of a hairline. This side I think's looking better, and it's going to look even better too, I think, once I get the hair actually put over that. So, yeah, see, sometimes I don't know, it definitely looks better lowering the hairline. It just looks more Eddie Munstery. But anyway, I've about got him, and then we'll work on his clothes. Alrighty, so there's what he looks like, and I think it's going to look even cuter with the hair on it. And I notice he looks kind of like he's got a little side glance to it, which I didn't mean for that to be that way, but it's okay. It don't really make any difference. But I thought I was going to go with this little shirt, but it's a bit bulky, and I'm just afraid it's going to be real bulky under his little jacket. So I've cut out a new one. The only thing I had was like this glitter fabric, but the back side of it is not glittery. So I've cut out, I just fold it over where it goes from his shoulders down as low as I want it, and make sure it kind of overlaps the back of his shoulder. And then I folded that in half, and then I cut out a little notch here, and then cut that little corner off, and that kind of gave me the neck hole. And then I split it on the back, and it makes the perfect little shirt. This is like a little fake shirt. So you see how well that fits over the shoulders. And then I will glue that down. And then later he'll get that collar. But it just fits perfect, and I'm just going to glue that in place. And of course it don't go all the way to the back. I could have made that go all the way down, but since he's going to have a jacket, I didn't really worry about it. I'm trying to get as little bulk as possible. So I'm going to glue this on and basically make his jacket the same way, but just add some little sleeves. And then I'm going to make him some shorts, and then we'll do the little detail things. Okie doke, so here he is. I've got glue on the head where I want the hair, and then I'm going to try to figure out, I've cut a little bit of that fur, and I'm just trying to figure out how I want it to lay. I think I want it to kind of come down in the front, because I'm going to kind of try to slick it back. So I want it to lay this away, and that's going to be a mess, but I got to kind of quickly work with this and try to go ahead and grab me some more real quick. All right, and then just kind of keep layering that, and I just want to cover it real good and then let it dry, and then I'll slick it back, and hopefully that'll work. I don't think I've used this kind of fur or hair on a doll head, so I'm not sure how that's going to work. And looking at it right now, I'm thinking maybe I should have just laid it the other direction, because I don't know if it's going to lay. I don't know if it's going to be easy to slick it back. I'm kind of wanting to pull that off and lay it the other way, but I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just going to start sticking it on, however, and hope for the best. So that's where I'm at, and I'm not feeling too confident about this. I'm just hoping that I'm kind of pressing it down and hoping that I'm kind of keeping the shape like where the glue was. I just want to make sure that hair is glued or pressed in there so it holds good. And just like with my little woof, I'm going to blow a lot of that loose hair off in a little bit after it dries a little. And hopefully this will be stylable. I just don't know about it. So, I don't know. We'll see what it is once it dries a little. So now this is where we are, and I took my spray air and I kind of blew that loose hair off. And what I'm going to try to do, I'm still not convinced this is looking good. I'm hoping that once I just kind of slick it back, it might look okay, but I don't know. I'm just going to take, it's still not even completely dry. I'm probably going to regret fooling with this right now, but I thought it might be better to fool with it and try to style it before that glue's completely dry. But I don't know. And I think I'm still seeing the glue through there, like it's still kind of wet and it looks kind of white, but that will dry. And that's why you always want to paint the head black or whatever color your hair is going to be, so that if there is any thin spots, you won't really notice it. So I'm just going to sit here with glue and a little bit of water and try to just slick it back and see how it looks. Okay, so here's where I'm at, and it looks pretty darn cute. It was a little bit weird to try to style. It still needs a little work, and the glue is still not dried. What's helped through this has been these tiny little scissors. These are super sharp and super pointy, and they can get into tiny little places. I think that's like little sewing scissors, or like, I don't know what it is. Sometimes I use like cosmetic scissors, like you'd clip little hairs with. And then of course some tweezers have helped. I used my finger to kind of slick it back. I put a little glue on it and then put a little water on it, and then even a paintbrush to kind of help press it together. These little tools have all helped. There's a few strays sticking out that I actually singed with a lighter, which I realized afterwards that was not the worst idea, but it wasn't the best idea. You might want to practice that on something you don't care as much about before you try that. But he's looking pretty darn cute. I'm so glad also that I did it before putting that collar on, which I blew it back there earlier. But I'm glad I did that. So I'm going to glue that little collar on, glue his little bow tie thing on, and get him socks and shoes painted on. And then I think he's done. I can't see or think of anything else that needs to be done. So I'll do those little things and then we'll check him out. Okie doke, so here he comes around. He looks pretty freaking cute now that he's all done and all the little details are on there. And I just thought of one thing. I gotta grab it real quick. All right, so I got the one thing that I wanted to show. This is some sort of a spike collar. I don't know what it came from, but it was found. I found it in a toy box, and I thought that would be perfect for Spot. You know, they have Spot is their pet, and I don't know if he is like a dragon or what he is, but that is like the most perfect little thing. I don't know what that actually originally came off of, but I thought it would be perfect for Spot. And then I've got this little tiny uh, magazine. I don't know if it's a dinosaur or Godzilla or what kind of little monster that is, but I thought that would be a cute little magazine to give to Eddie. And then, of course, we've got Woof Woof. So there's his little Woof Woof doll. And he probably won't stand up too good. Oh, yeah, he did. Oh, no, I figured not. But anyway, there's his little Woof Woof doll, and we will get better pictures of that here in a minute. Let me grab him up a little bit closer. One thing I noticed is I Mod Podged him, and the Mod Podge makes all your colors a little bit darker. Like I noticed his face got a little bit darker than it was originally, and the same for the socks. And it did the same on Woof Woof, his little gray and the green color on his skin, all that kind of got just a tiny bit darker. Not bad, but which that's okay. I mean, as long as it still protects it, I like putting that Mod Podge on there. And then I thought there was something I was going to specifically mention about this. Oh yeah, one thing is the edge of the fabric is sort of frayed, but I kind of like that. It just looks like a worn little outfit, so I don't mind the fraying. And it ain't fraying too much. As long as you're not like picking at it, it should be okay. But he's turned out so cute. So we're going to get a better look at him in the pictures. I hope y'all have enjoyed this little episode of our first character for the Munster project. And please like and subscribe so you can check out the rest of the project. And I'll see you in the next one.